Hey everybody, Scorpion here. So I got something a little bit different to take apart today. So if y'all want to bear with me, because I'm not an engine type person, this is actually, I believe, just a carburetor. Yeah. And I don't remember what it came off of. I'm pretty sure it was a push mower, but I'm not positive. But anyway, we'll take it apart.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Alright, so y'all give me just a second here to get ready. Let me cut the gold off of this. So I dropped some parts in a degreaser yesterday, and some of it's degreased and some of it isn't, so I'm probably gonna have to scrub some of it. But either way, I'm closer than I was. And I'm sure plenty of y'all have seen how I sit in some of my other videos. Say, I don't sit like most people do. So like I've got pain and stuff, and I can't sit too long, can't stand too long, but I can still scrap. I just change. I have to move a lot, let's put it that way. The longer I spend in bed sleeping, the worse I feel when I wake up. So mornings are not nice to me. But the world goes on, right? So we just keep going. That's one reason why I'm trying to start my own business. I'm not a morning person. I like to take an hour or two to get up out the bed in the mornings. Allows me to stretch my muscles and get my joints moving and all that stuff. And then, like, once I'm up, I don't want to go back to bed, so I tend to try to stay up until I fall over dead. That's why some people say I don't sleep. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Loosen that up at least. Alright, I'll have to work on that later. Anyway, so basically what I'm doing is taking this carburetor apart. Most of it is cast aluminum. But you've got some other parts in here that you do need to take out to be able to turn it in as cast aluminum. And you know, these parts are going to go in as shred or whatever. But you'll pull this nut here and take this stuff off, and that spring. Take your cast aluminum pieces and put them with your cast aluminum, and quite often you have brass fittings. Where your fuel comes in and out, and I'm gonna have to take this and clean it some more. But yeah, that's basically what I'm working on, and I'm gonna see if I can't clean this out a little bit more, and I'll bring y'all back. Alright, so I tossed it back in the degreaser for a few minutes. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more of this apart here. Pulled the plastic seal out of this side. It's over there somewhere. Here it is. So for people with no mechanical skills, I'm not far behind you. Don't feel bad. But if I break stuff like this down, I'll be glad to show you. Loosen this. As you can see, it's got a pin that locks it down here in the bottom. I better hold on to this. There's a spring under it. Just like that. All comes apart. So this, I'll throw this back in degreaser for a little bit just to make sure, because I'm not super excited about giving them greasy aluminum, you know. They probably won't be too super excited about it either. I may clean up with a rag pretty decent, but all this is cast aluminum. Most of your lawnmower motors, weed eater motors, what else? I don't know, it's a few different small engines that are aluminum, along with the carburetors are normally aluminum. So easy way to get a hold of some aluminum. Most of the time you don't get to sit down at the table and tear stuff apart, but you know, sometimes. Yeah, the shred I'll just toss over here greasy, I don't care. They ain't gonna be picking through that no way. I do like to use fridges and freezers after I clean the motor and copper and all out of them. I do like to use those to drop all my screws in. I always gotta check, make sure. So, I mean, you figure a fridge by itself, not much weight. You know, you're not going to get much for scrap. Especially after you take the motor and all the stuff out from underneath in the back. But then after that, if it's full of screws, well, stuff gets heavy pretty fast. And it's great for, you know, keeping it from going in your yard and all that other stuff. So yeah, so that's normally what I do with my screws. That way I don't end up with flat tires and all. And I sit here when I'm sitting at the table doing stuff, taking things apart, you know, I do it ever so slowly and drop all the screws in there, which occasionally something flies across the room. All par for the course. So that looks like that's all aluminum now. We've got everything else out. This side right here, if I was smart, I'd leave my magnet closer to me while I'm doing this, because I don't know nothing about it. I gotta check it all. Yeah, see, that's got to come out. That's magnetized. This is magnetized. That's gonna be brass, so you have to pull that out. But other than that, you're good. I would reckon, I mean, I would guess you could probably punch this piece out, because there's a hole all the way through to it. Set it in a vise or something and put a hole punch on there and punch it through and knock that out. I'm not sure how this is connected, but when you open this side, you can probably see it's probably got a nut on there or some type of lock ring or something, because I twisted this earlier but it didn't want to unscrew. So, but I mean, that's basically your you know, carburetors and stuff. It's not much to them. It just takes a little time. This is locked on. There it goes. And just checking all your pieces, seeing what it's made of, what needs to go where. See, all that scrap. In case y'all haven't figured out, I call shred scrap because it's nothing. And scrap is normally what people throw away, so that's what comes to my mind. But just like that, it's a couple pieces of cast aluminum and some shred. I mean, as it sets, you could probably throw that in as dirty aluminum, but I want the top price for it, so I'll take that over to my dad's and put it in a vise, knock that piece out the bottom, get these two off, and that stuff adds up. You've also got car engines that are aluminum blocks. Some I can't talk. Some places take it as cast, and some places take it as they actually have a motor category for it. Same thing with transmissions. The rear ends on your riding mowers, most of those are aluminum. So I mean, like a riding mower, and my dad just hauled two of them off the other day, so I had to have a little talk with him because he didn't take them apart. You got the aluminum engine, you got the aluminum rear end, you got the wiring harness that's on there. If you look, I'm sure you can find something else, but that's the main parts. And I mean, pulling the wiring harness out, you don't have to pull it out in one piece. Just reach as far as you can one way, cut it off, go to the other side, reach as far as you can, cut the pieces off, pull it right on out. If you take it as shred, you can probably get as much for the wire as you can for the whole mower. So it's worth taking it apart. It's not really that much wire there, but you're not going to get, what is it, 9 cents per 100 pounds. A mower, will say it weighs 500 pounds, so you're looking at, you know, 50 cents. You'll get 50 cents worth of wire out of it, I'm sure. And then you've got your aluminum parts. Yeah, you may have to take a little time, unbolt it, take it off, that kind of thing. Pull your pistons most of the time are aluminum and stuff like that in the motors, but you want to pull them apart and make sure you don't have a metal sleeve in there. That is something you definitely have to worry about in your car motors. But yeah, it's worth taking it apart if you want the extra money. Now, if you're going to spend 4 or 5 days taking it apart, well, you've probably used too much time to make it worth, you know, doing it. But if you take one apart, the next one's going to be faster, and the next one will be faster, because you already know what you're looking at and what you're dealing with. So, I hope this video helps y'all some of the places you can find some of your cast aluminum. And I'm going to show y'all a load that I'm going to take off here in a few days. So, y'all have a good day.